How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new video. At the end of this video, we will be announcing the winner of the Bitcoin giveaway, so stay tuned for that. And all that being said, we are talking about Nucleus Vision in this video, and there really is a lot of interesting things that we've seen involving Nucleus Vision on the news lately. In particular, the involvement that Nucleus Vision has involving India, and really a lot of those really special countries that are going to be having a lot of really important roles to play as we continue to move forward, and we see the world stage as it has been developing in accordance with the technological revolutions that have been brought on by more people being connected to the internet and so forth. It's really amazing to see how China and India have managed to really outperform a lot of the competition, and moving forward, I think that it really is interesting to see how Nucleus Vision is strategically position themselves in a way that's ultimately going to pay off. I mean, we're looking at the roadmap involving where we stand. I mean, 2017's long gone, but 2018 token sales, rewards, growth. But I'm looking forward to really 2019, which involves the global expansion of retail. Ultimately, when you talk about retail and you talk about spaces that are in need of an overhaul and in need of really an evaluation to a large extent, I would say that when Nucleus Vision approaches the scene, leveraging cryptocurrency technology to essentially make retail great again, without mixing words too much. It's pretty interesting to see how retail has essentially crumbled. I mean, it's pretty depressing to see all across the world. It is less and less people just going out. People buy things using their smartphones nowadays. So ultimately, it makes sense that Nucleus Vision would seek to leverage the potential that consumers and everyday people bring into stores, having their smartphones with them, when they're going into say Target or something like that. People walking around and buying things in the grocery store, for example, can essentially use their consumer preference data to find more options when they're shopping in regular stores, much the same way that their data would be used over the internet. I mean, this is the way of the future, people doing everyday things, and essentially it has a digital fingerprint. And it is interesting to see how Nucleus Vision is essentially leveraging the public consciousness revolving around data, because of course people are conscious about how their data is being used. I mean, you could see this, it's fairly evident by the conversation that's taking place happening involving Facebook, and all these different companies that were at one point really big powers, across the board, really in charge of a lot of public opinion and so forth, but essentially coming to swift decline. I mean, even YouTube, to a large extent, the way that they treat their fan base and the way that they I mean, I love YouTube, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, if I'm going to make my opinion clear, and of course I am entitled to my opinion, I might be a YouTuber, might be making YouTube content here, and you're listening to this video on YouTube, but of course my opinion on the site would be, if I were to have them do anything better, it would be maybe go back to the way things had been in 2008, 2007, 2006. Just basically they need to backtrack, because I think everything that YouTube has done to the site over the past decade it's really been it's hurt the way that the communities have performed and so forth. And I think that as we see these different technologies like Steam and these various Tron and across the board, I mean, you see these websites like DTube and all these various different decentralized platforms for cryptocurrencies to essentially play a big role in the delivering of media to people who want to be entertained. And I think as we move forward and we start to see the different developments that have been happening, and essentially it's coming at the same time as a really significant decline in the performance of a lot of these old platforms that at one point held so much dominance. So there are a lot of exciting things that are definitely happening. And ultimately, I'm pretty optimistic about the future that NCASH has in front of it, especially when you take into consideration the Internet of Things and the rise of smart technology, really the global community that's being built around all these different variables, and it's very exciting to see how all these things have been coming together in such a short time frame. And ultimately, I think Nucleus Vision has a really interesting perception of how all these different variables are going to be playing a significant role as we see these things moving forward into the world of tomorrow, which, as you know, starts today. So I mean, all that being said, I mean, it is interesting to be so early in these stages as far as cryptocurrency is concerned. I mean, we're going to see a lot of different developments happening in a short amount of time. And of course, the winner of the BTC giveaway has been announced. Congratulations, Timur. And of course, we will be doing giveaways in the future. So this giveaway actually has happened because we reached a wonderful milestone, 20,000 subscribers on this channel. We wouldn't have gotten here without you guys. And we'd just like to thank everybody who's participated in the giveaway up until this point. And we will be having them in the future, so don't feel too discouraged. And all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this content, and I'm glad you guys are subscribed to the channel. It is great that we've been able to build up such a great social media presence on all these different platforms. And you guys can remember, we actually do have another Twitter that you guys can connect with us on right here. So if you're interested in it, it is available for anybody who's interested. So yeah, it is cool to talk about these different cryptos, and I mean, just giving it an overall look. I mean, it is interesting to see where Bitcoin currently stands, and of course all these different variables included. Of course, Bitcoin dominance being at 43%. And I think it's really going to be interesting to see how technologies like NCASH perform in the near future, especially with the different variables being as they are in the current market. And obviously it is important to have tough skin and do your research in this space. As the space continues to move forward, and I'm definitely excited to see how Nucleus Vision has been performing, and the definite possibilities that are in store. I really think it's a solid team that's working on Nucleus Vision right now. And of course, I mean, looking at the timeline, it is interesting to see. I mean, obviously we're at 2018 right now, but 2019 is up ahead, and it's not going to be long until 2020. So I definitely recommend that you guys are following Nucleus Vision on their Twitter. And of course, you guys can connect with us on our Twitter. It is interesting to stay connected through Twitter, and of course, you guys can also connect with us on Snapchat, and of course Instagram, and all these different platforms. So it's really easy to stay connected. So obviously, like I said, this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. I'm not your dad. This video is for obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not giving anybody any advice. This is really just all my opinion regarding Nucleus Vision. But it is interesting to see how people can share their opinions online, and that's a great thing. And I think that's something that cryptocurrency, more decentralized platforms where people can share media, they will get less censored, and people can share their opinions to a larger extent, because we do see Twitter coming to a decline as well, of course, with all these various different things that have been happening involving various different censorship related issues. And it is sad to see, because Twitter and YouTube and Facebook, they could really do so much good if they would just stop censoring their user bases and so forth. But I guess it's only natural. We'll soon see cryptocurrencies like Nucleus Vision taking over in the spaces like retail and so forth, just the same way that we'll be seeing cryptocurrencies like Tron taking over in these spaces that we understand, like media providing and so forth, social media across those lines. But yeah, so it is interesting to see the news as it currently stands revolving around Nucleus Vision, in particular where we see it going from here on out.
Everything I'm pursuing, all the shit I could be losing. Why's this shit so confusing? losing things I go through, things I see. Why won't stress to let me be? Anguish, strain, and mentally breaking every time I'm left alone. Why can't shit just be easy? Others look so lemon squeezy. Something simple is all I'm asking. Why's this dream all I see happening? Hearing stop, but no I can't. Every day go through this rant, slowly start to go insane. Never will shit be the same. Losing people, losing friends. In the end, yo, what's it worth? Shit